petition won't work in this country. Hi, hi. The petition won't work in this country. There's a mission here that is being tried to be accomplished by the government. What I heard is that they are foreseeing a situation where the Zuma people are getting closer in terms of the polls and the numbers, and in court they have a confident and some what they call this, some evidence of what happened with the rigging of the elections last year. So now the forecast is that there's a chance that with this law that they're proposing of taking the land fully and changing the constitution is getting closer and it becoming a reality. They are now sending Julius Malema to obviously go and do that. I'm not trying to bring politics, but I'm just giving you a context of how they came about this Nigerian thing.
Speak, my bro, speak.
Yeah, so what happened is now, because people are more aware and attuned with the political news and the current affairs, people do not no longer, unlike before 10 years ago where they depended on newspaper of Pravin Gordhan. These days people can actually get their own news directly from the source, and they can post, and we've got social media which can help us obviously dissect and get the raw generic news compared to the cooked news that is you will normally see on the newspapers. So what happened is, this time they tried to get to they tried to get to Zuma and his people. Half of them are in the ANC, obviously, which is the second faction that is against the Ramaphosa faction. You know the story. But Julius Malema Julius Malema plight to divide black people and irritate and agitate black people, especially the Zulu people, by trying to make sure that they make a fight or sort of create divisions between the black people. It's not working, because the black people are like, we've seen this before, and you're not going to win this. We know what you're doing and stuff like that, because he's been used as a pacifier to make sure that you calm black people. The black people that are radical, you really calm them down and act as if you are doing for them. So that's why the EFF is there. But now, when you remember the Zuma Must Fall, the first phase of Zuma Must Fall, Julius Malema was the lead of that, because they really needed to get rid of him so that they can make ways for Syria. In this case, this plan did not work. It did not work, this Julius Malema thing. Hence, you can see in the next 2 days, it's so quiet, and the EFF, it's only left on Twitter now, but the actual bosses like Malema, they're kind of quiet because it's not getting traction as they wished. So the second plan was, because obviously the foreigner topic is the hot topic in the South African eyes, you still see there's a third one that is coming about Pakistan's. There's still a Pakistan ambassador that is
yes, my bro.
That is going to come, because this is the second plan of saying, okay, when the Julius Malema plan is not working, what other agitation can we get? Because remember, the capitalists thrive in chaos. There must be chaos in order for the capitalists to take advantage. You never come to a country as a capitalist and start digging for gold or oil when it's come under good contracts. There must be some chaos so that people are focused on the fighting, on the power, on politics, and all of those things. All of those cooked things, they need to be happening so that then the capitalist at the background is able to work in peace. Now, with Julius Malema not failing to actually agitate the Zulu people and the black people in general, they had to think of something else, because in the 8-year in Nigeria, MTN was fined a huge amount of money, and I think even the license was revoked. However, they got to now they have to they did not have this relationship. So it makes no sense that a Nigerian country that has went out of its way to penalize you over one mistake, to a point to revoke your license, you now come and bring them and say they must now have to trade and bring their products on their South African shelves and all of that. It makes no sense, because there hasn't been other prior talks before this one. But you can see that this is the second blight to actually get sure that they agitate black people. So what needs to happen is that we need to be angry. We need to go crazy. We need to go take it to the streets so that there can actually be some sort of riots and some sort of chaos, especially leading up to the next elections. And you will see these things are going to keep popping up, so that by the time the elections are coming, there's chaos. We are not able to vote, so that the current party remain in place and all of that, because people are actually waking up to actually vote and accept the vote if the votes are not happening the way. And if you listen to Jacob Zuma, he's been saying that, okay, we now know how they did this rigging thing, and we are more aware of what's going to happen. So they can actually clearly see that in future it's going to be difficult for them to rig the elections. So the only way now is to actually take over the election with a so-called soft coup, which will obviously get the country into riots or into agitation, and then into this mess, and then obviously the status quo remain. There are so many other issues that are still going to unfold in this country, and it's going to be very hectic.
And my brother, you know what is the aim? Why are they allowing these Pakistanis and Nigerians and stuff? Yeah, to be honest with you, my brother, let's not miss this point. They want to give these people papers, and these people will vote for them. Because South Africans, to be honest with you, that MTN, whatever is in Nigeria, is not benefiting us. South Africans are benefiting nothing about their God-given land, the natives, from colored, black, Indian, whatever, I mean, our 11 tribes. We're not benefiting anything. The army, let me talk about the army quickly. The army is 65,000 people, no? And that's now including the reserves. For 65 million, say 70 million, I think we're about 80 million, even more in this country, to be honest with you, whether undocumented. Now, our police service is in a crisis. Our military is in a crisis. I've been a technical officer in the army. I was in the Navy too. I was taken from the Navy into the army. I know how the ships work. Only one ship is currently serviced to sail. So we got a coastline from Cape Town into Richards Bay that has to be manned. And now the ordinary South Africans are not getting employed. Our military needs to grow very quickly. So these people, they want these people to come so that they can vote. Now, to unstabilize a country, we just have to look at the country like Australia, and then we look at the US quickly, Los Angeles, and then we look at San Francisco. What they did there is they make sure a lot of immigrants come in. When the immigrants get in, then they make sure the powder to stabilize the natives further so that they can have control. So now, Ramaphosa is heavily behind powdering all of those big shots there. They heavily, because there is over 200 billion hard cash circulating in this country and leaving this country. So when the general and KZN, he busted the powder bust in one of the containers now the other day. If that containers had to go through, just think about the exchange of hard cash from hand to hand. So that's the thing. He doesn't want us to realize that there's hard cash leaving this country, which is crippling our economy also. So South Africans, this is the thing. What Mommy Roxo just said now. We need to go pray and all of this now in December, in January. But after that, we need to pick up tools. Ramaphosa must step down. The country must go into a lockdown. We don't care about any business. Whether it's foreign, we don't care. South Africa, this is why we have this influx of foreigners. South Africa, and this is something that baffled my mind when I was in exile not too long ago for 13 months. South Africa is the richest country in the world. We got minerals, a bit of everything. We're richer than Dubai, much richer. So they are trying to create a royalty. Ramaphosa is supporting Nigeria's Zionist, where the rich gets richer and the poor gets poorer. He's trying to bring it here. This is Palestine here. This is the start of Palestine. South Africa is a small Palestine, so to say. So this is what needs to happen. People must wake up, and all the taxis, the gangsters, every South African, we don't care about your past. We need to hold hands to fight this common enemy. Because with the Pakistanis coming into our country and the Bangladeshis, we don't care about. I play cricket, bro. We got nothing to do with cricket and sports or what. We want our godly right is to be emancipated from this economic choke that we in. It's an economic choke where our kids can matriculate, they can go as far as they want to go, they still can't find a job. They want to build malls. A mall, how much? If you working for Edgar's, you can't even get a home loan. So this is what South Africa needs. We need stable jobs, number one. And we're not talking about jobs that's going to earn you 30, 40,000. No, we need stable jobs. We need security, because our security is nonsense. And then we need water. We need RDP houses. The list goes on. He's not here to fix anything. He's here to destroy it because there's people behind him. And if it means I have to support former President Jacob Zuma and former President Thabo Mbeki, I will support them, because I will do anything just to cut the ANC out of power. Anything and everything.
The short-term plan right now is to get South Africans to lose elections, because if you can get South Africans to lose elections, you continue to retain power. But then the bigger picture is exactly what you were saying about the influx of new foreigners, because the Western and the American and the Europe and the British and the old colonizers, obviously they do not want this new BRICS. They actually want to keep the status quo in terms of being in the same bed with the Western. Now, you remember the Ukraine story where they were trying to get the Ukraine white people to come here and all of those things. You can see there's a very big picture.
Some of them, bro. But
there's a very big picture about the use of this South African passports given to other people, because obviously the DA and the ANC, the GNU, they are looking for new voters, because obviously the colored people, the black people and the Indian people, they are more vacuous than this nonsense. They actually vote for what they want, what benefits them, and they can actually see when things are not good for them. For an example, if you're going to be telling us which we must lie with the West and the, let's say the East, for an example, the BRICS is offering better, South Africans are more attuned into those things, and they really want to vote in those lines and keep people that are not going to exploit us. But obviously, if you are allowing the voters to do as they please, as the West, obviously you are losing a whole lot, because then you have to then concede the fact that you no longer have power, you no longer have control over the president, and you are losing actually the country, and it's going to the Chinese and the British, and these people are going to trade with India and so on and so on. So what do you do in order to make sure that you retain the country? You actually bring your own voters. You bring people that you can provide with the citizenship and all of those things. That guy, Lobe, that is there in the Home Affairs, that guy is not doing daily job. He's busy with a bigger mission of the next 5 to 10 years. Where
my brother, this is the thing. We can't wait until 2026.
No,
it's too far.
2025 is too far. We cannot wait for that, guys. We cannot.
It's far. 2026 is very far.
Far.
There's no water in the country. That tells you a hell of a story, guys. I get you. I'm just thinking, 2026 is far. And that thing will be rigged again. They are just like ZANU-PF. ANC ZANU-PF is the same bloody thing.
We need to just go sleep in parliament and sleep on freeways and we never leave that place.
Maybe, guys, we must also remind each other.
Yeah, can you take fan pass cut and then guys? It's fan pass.
Okay. Morning, guys. Yeah.
And then
morning, guys.
And Nigeria, and Nigeria, and then it's certified, and then Miss
No, it's TK afterwards, and then it's Miss.
and then
Yes, and
Miss.
then it's Miss
Okay.
Ramola
Oh, okay.
Frani.
All right. Fantas, go ahead.
Yeah, sanmonan, my patriots. Hey, I learned to Zolo. Oh, sorry, English. What we the
And
news
it's
that
fine,
we
you
got?
can speak Zulu.
No, there's 99 cents and
No,
internet.
it's fine, my bro.
It's a
I can
combi.
make out what you're saying. I've been 18 years in the army. I've laid in the trenches with Zulu, Xhosa, Venda. So, yeah.
I will
So
speak Venda too, eh?
No,
what we saw yesterday, it was very heartbreaking, saying that Ramaphosa wants Nigerian tourists and products. What kind of products on the shelves, and what kind of shady deals are they putting together with Tinubu? Because Tinubu now
You know
is
what kind of product, Fantas?
what?
Kind of product. It's a penis enlargement and nyaupe. That's a product.
Yeah. So Tinubu himself is also a shady character. So our president and Tinubu, they both have crimes that are not they are not charged for. Crimes that they are protected
But
from.
more importantly, they are the puppets of the West. You look at what Tinubu has been doing when Burkina Faso, Chile, and Mali were trying to take control of their country. He wanted to bomb them. He was the puppet that was sent to stop that in that Akowa thing in that region.
yes, and now he's still accommodating those French guys.
Exactly. And if you see this picture here by Tinubu and Ramaphosa, you are looking at the very same piece, the same people that are taking very same instruction from the very same boss. And whatever nonsense is happening in Nigeria, it's exactly the same. That they go to the same class and get the same lecture and get the same boss. They get paid from the same account, these people, the Ramaphosa. And this is the guy that 2026, I think, Mina, is very far. What needs to happen, we need to come down as South Africans, especially the youth. Let's just go to all the major freeways. We camp there. We don't picket, we don't do nothing, and then we just stop everybody. Nobody passes, no economy is happening until people listen to us and we have a mandate. If Ramaphosa is not set down, we're not moving there, because if we don't toy, or if we try and toy, or we do something like that, they will send people who are going to loot and then dilute the whole conversation. But if we go and sleep on the freeway for 3 days or whatever days that it takes to get there, then so be it. Then we can actually stop the economy from moving until somebody come and listen to us, or else Ramaphosa must resign. We may not love Zuma, to be honest, but at the end of the day, we do not need somebody like Julius Malema or Ramaphosa. People who take instructions and go around telling people to
And this is where I get the
So
problem.
Ramaphosa,
My problem is this also, and I love former President Thabo Mbeki. I just think he must also come out of the woodwork and fight the Ramaphosa. Regardless,
he can't. He took a lot of money from that from the West. That guy, he's the same as Ramaphosa.
Now I don't know them guys. Hey, then I don't know.
But guys, can I also come in also? Because I've got this thing and it's hitting me very, very, very
Yes,
hard.
go ahead.
Guys, remember, when you grow up, some of us were 80s. Okay, let me say 80. When you grow up in South Africa, we know very well people who are using drugs. Now, those people have got money. The drugs that are we're talking about the cocaine. Okay. So now I'm gonna tell you one thing, guys, and you must be very, 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 very listen to me very careful. Since the South Africa open borders for this, what we call the brothers, the Africans. Now there's this drugs that is killing our youth. Only our
Powder.
No, yes. So remember, guys, you have to understand this thing. These people, they are not here to boost our economy or doing what. They are here to destroy this country. And the Ramaphosa, they are there to support them. You cannot tell me that Somalians and whoever, they are here to make business. Remember, when you're running as a business, you must have at least the what we call cash flow of 5 million and above. But nothing happened to them. Understand? So the very same Ramaphosa, he doesn't say anything about this thing. He gives these people 21 days to go and kill our children again. And you are saying to us, we must go and vote ANC again. You know what? Truly speaking, I didn't like Mkondo Sizwe. I don't like Julius Malema. But I can tell you, the only organization that can solve this problem, because we need to change also this fucking constitution. It's not helping us at all. These
The
motherfuckers
unhealthy
are here to
constitution,
destroy our
yeah.
country. It's simple as that.
True.
It's simple as that. Nigerians, I've never in my life, I've been in Northern Cape, Eastern Cape, I've never seen a Nigerian running a proper business company.
Exactly. I've been in Northern Cape
Exactly.
also.
What products are you
24
talking about?
hours.
I've never
But
seen
they're staying in
Nigerian
the, they're
products
staying in the
life.
heavy suburbs of your Santines. What the
What
fuck?
product? What product come from
this is the
Nigeria?
thing, my brother.
Then what man Ramaphosa when he said they must come freely to do business? What the hell?
What business?
He's talking about the powder. I mean,
So
what
fuck
product
Exactly.
he's seen from Nigeria packaged?
So fuck
These are people
Ramaphosa
who
the
eat
ANC.
and drink water from a plastic. Yes,
I think, guys, we need to plan by January, first week, second week in Jan.
We need to do this.
We need to block these roads with stones.
This country is
Everywhere.
lawless. There's no law in South Africa.
We need to block
Everywhere.
the freeway. Send
Yeah.
M1 there.
We lock
need to
down
be
the country,
there.
guys. We lock down the country. We go door to door.
And they don't feel this speech because they're staying in this really
The
suburbs.
police
Their
can
children
do-
are well
this is
protected
the thing.
24/7.
The police can do whatever. We're fighting for their kids too.
No, exactly.
Yes,
We're
We're fighting for their
kids.
pension.
We need
There's
to
no more
block the
pension.
freeway.
There's
M1.
government. They want to tell the government workers
They
why
might collect
after they
drive.
retire, they have to wait
No,
long for their
collect
money.
drive.
There's
There
no
by
money
collect
left.
drive. M1
Yes.
collect drive. We need to
Yes.
sit, bring camp chairs and
Straight stones.
there and sleep there. People will
guys,
bring us
and
food and
tires.
water there.
Guys, let's give in Nigeria a chance. I want him to explain what is Ramaphosa and Tinubu bringing together.
He must come correct because I don't have
why
time
are
for
you
him.
letting this
He
guy
must
come
come
to this
correct.
conversation?
He must
We
come
don't need
correct
this
because I
people
will
here.
chop his head.
Okay, and Nigeria.
Yes. Can you guys hear me?
At least you
Can you guys
behave. You're a good Nigeria. That
No, man,
behave.
Yes,
don't
we
waste
can
our
hear
time.
you.
You are listening.
Go ahead
Don't waste
and
our
make
time. You are listening, eh?
All right, thank you.
Let's mute our mic, guys, and then give him a chance and see what his submission. Go ahead. And
All right. All right. So it is an interesting development, and quite shocking at the same time. It is clear that Ramaphosa, the president of South Africa, is clearly not in tune with the realities of the people. So ordinary South Africans have been on the news have been on social platforms for weeks, for months now, crying about a social issue that they have. Drug issue, migrants, undocumented migrants, and how aliens are coming into the country in droves and destroying their economy and messing up with their values. So it is clear that Ramaphosa is not in tune with the realities. He's so disconnected from the realities of the people. So, and that's very sad and pathetic. You see, looking at the crux of the matter, the man wearing blue, the one wearing blue cap, next to him having a handshake, does not have anything to offer. When we want to critically look at what what economic advantage the man is bringing to South Africa, it is absolutely nothing. The only thing that they are reliant on is crude oil. Crude oil is an exclusive preserve of lazy people. Lazy people depend on natural resources. That one wearing blue cap does not produce anything. In fact, the 99% of the population wants to run away from their country. That man is not doing anything to fix the economic condition of his own people. So for him to go on a global stage offering for some economic help, he has nothing to offer. South Africans buying their oil is doing without knowing, is mortgaging the life of South Africans for the foreseeable future. So if you guys want to engage real solution, you must You must muster the courage, as you have spoken about. You must be able to muster the courage to get on the street, to go and occupy the streets, to do something to make sure that the government, which is supposedly a democratic government, which is a government of the people, that they listen to the yearnings and the cries of the people. So that is what it should be about. So we want that one wearing blue cap to go home and fix his economy, to go home and better the lives of his own people, to go home and do something. I understand that he's bereft of ideas, but for a fact, he is in charge. Even though he's a dummy, he is in charge. He must do something. If he cannot do something, he should be able to gather all these ones on the internet, lying and trying to project image of Nigeria, even though they know that Nigeria is a cesspit of evil. These ones on TikTok, this man needs to take them, remove them from wherever they are hiding in various countries, and bring them into the economy of his country called Nigeria, and use them. Since these ones running around on the internet, tends to, all they know is speak nice grammar, or sometimes convoluted grammar, cut and join. So he needs to assemble all of them and use them to, if he doesn't know what to do, and use them to run the economy. So that man, in essence, he has nothing to offer. He has absolutely nothing to offer to South Africans. The crude oil, which is the mainstay of the economy, is the only thing they've got. And if you don't buy it from them, they become poorer than you know them for. So Ramaphosa must rethink his strategy.
No, Ramaphosa knows exactly what he's doing. He knows exactly. He knows.
He knows.
This is the thing. Nigeria, this is the problem with Nigeria. Nigeria has to go to Mali, has to go to Burkina Faso and ask for help to take over that dictatorship. South Africa, we know how to deal with our story. You understand? We must stop this thing of Africans. No? Africans must stop this thing. We must run to another country to look for a country to adopt us. Everybody must be proud of their own country. Fight the government.
Remember,
so these Nigerians that's here, they must go home and face the government. And because this thing will have no end if we leave it like this. Ramaphosa, look here, Africa is a bloody dumping site. That's why we got Burkina Faso and Mali standing up, because they're using Africa as a dumping site. South Africa is the last dumping site of the whole dumping site. So people need to fight for their countries. If we don't, we will never get the end to this. Or this is the other thing. We build an atomic bomb and we clear the whole world. Then all go to hell.
And Ramaphosa is so fucking selfish. He knows very well that he's protecting his business and his brothers-in-law in Africa. That's why he doesn't care about us, because he knows exactly that he's got a lot of business in Africa. So he's compromising our life because of his interest. So fuck Ramaphosa. This Tinubu guy is so fucking useless. Since he became the president, the economy of Nigeria is going down each and every day. So I don't understand what he's thinking when he say we are going to bring the business or the company.
People they don't care. Tinubu and Ramaphosa, they actually care about their businesses and their money. This is for their own personal benefits. Mina, guys, to be honest, I was not in support of Ramaphosa must fall, but now I hate this guy.
I hate this guy
if you can close the freeways, if you can do things like we must make sure that his word is not final. Honestly speaking, his word is not final. Our word is final. That's period. We're not. I get Ramaphosa.
We cannot.
Even though we be speaking, but as Fulugans something, we are not being in action. We only speak. Ramaphosa has been destroying us. He's continuously destroying the country, but we are not doing anything, especially the youth. I'm part of the youth. I'm part of the youth, but I'm disappointed in the youth. Like, we're not doing anything. Like, we are very much disappointed.
I think it's time we end this TikTok bullshit and take it to the street.
Yes, that's the thing. We have to take it to the street. because we have been
Accept to
through.
No,
normalize.
it's time. I think he's challenging us now. He's giving us a middle finger. Listen, we've been complaining and complaining. People who are actually affected by this. What
We
Nigerians
complain
are
all the time.
is
We
nothing.
complain all the time, but nothing is happening. The only thing that is happening, Ramaphosa is the one that has to do things. What about us? Because we are the one that gets affected.
I'm telling you, this guy is challenging us. And if you're busy having nice English here on TikTok, it's not gonna help. It's not gonna help.
Yes.
It's not gonna help.
And it's not about Nigerians only. I can tell you guys, I've got a lot of people who have been killed by Zimbabweans and the Mozambicans, and then they went back to their country. They came again, they kill people. They're untraceable, these people. So these
people there on the politicians, they are not affected. They don't lose anything. In fact, they more than have illegal activities. They have an opportunity to loot. We must take it to the streets. It's enough, man. It's enough. We must take it to the streets. We've been like rambling on the internet, wasting our data. It's time we take it to the streets.
How can you say I'm giving you 21 days to register the spaza shop to kill our children again?
Yes, the more kids die, the more
guys,
kids
let me
die.
tell you something that you don't know.
A lot.
Let me tell you something that you don't know. Africa hates South Africans. Africa hates South Africans. You go to Mozambique, you go to Zimbabwe, you go to wherever, you're going
That's
to be
the
treated like a
truth,
shit.
my bro. That's
You're
the
going to be
truth.
treated like a shit.
Even if it takes months,
No, the economy, everything must stand still. There must be anything.
Yes, that's
Everything
true.
must stand
Yes.
Guys, if you had to listen to, I'm part of the Ramaphosa Must Fall campaign. If you have to listen to us, the Ramaphosa campaign's got the whole solution to fix this country within a month or two. Make it 3 months, 90 days. You will see. The country needs to go under lockdown.
Please, if it has
Then,
to,
on top
let
of
it
that
go on
lockdown, the army, they need to prepare themselves for huge intakes because our kids are on the street. It's better they go to the army for 18 months than to go to jail because
That's true.
it's
That's
better
true.
that way. So we need our youth to love that. We got the solutions, but people didn't take us seriously. And look now, we need to unite.
During the COVID time,
Exactly.
time, he closed everything with immediate effect. He even deployed the soldier to the street.
They're trying to do it to us. And it's a fact.
The sad part is that Ramaphosa did resign, but no one took
He is
Last year,
look
because
here,
he has
that is
money,
just a
because he
public
can do
display.
everything. Because
He will never resign. He wants to sit there.
No, he will never resign. He will. That one.
He will
forget.
never. This
Yeah,
is his
remember
dream. His dream since the 90s.
He will
His
never
dream when he
resign.
was sitting next to Mandela, his dream was to be the president, and he got it. So this is his dream. But this is his last time that he will be, his eyes will be open. Let me say
Ramaphosa
that.
should step down. Like, we don't
Ramaphosa
want
is-
him. Like,
Hey,
we
I'm
are
so-
tired.
No,
We
he's a
have
piece of
had
shit.
it.
I'm sorry to say that. He's a piece of shit, Ramaphosa. He's a piece of shit.
We are tired now. We are tired. Like, this is enough.
You know, like guys, it's so funny. I'm a vendor. And I used to like this guy, like, you know, where I grew up in Shawela, where like he was like I was sort of a role model. So now I was like, you know what? Okay, Ramaphosa is going to get his term, and then he's going
Look
to
here,
change
my bro.
everything.
I hear what you're saying. He's got billions. Why can't he use his money to develop that place in Venda?
No, it's
Come
not
on,
enough.
man.
It's not enough, the money that he has. He wants more money. So fuck Ramaphosa.
This is just this and ask them to help fight. We know what we can do in South Africa. We know exactly. We don't want to expose it online.
We did it before and then we do it now.
Guys, the conversation
Government of
moving
Nigeria
forward,
should
guys, sorry to interject, guys. The conversation moving forward on those patriotic platforms, we need to start mobilizing.